Hello, this is Tol'tar of Lynn, and yes, I am back. It has been a couple of months. I've had a very busy time. I do have a life, but more importantly, I've got a big project ahead of me with this next video I want to do, related to the metaphysics of fictional chaos in relation to chaos magic. And I just wanted to put this out kind of as a teaser / introductory video, just to introduce the topic to the handful of you that might come back and watch this one after my previous video. The basic plan is to draw what connections I can between the real-world new religious movement and mystic tradition of chaos magic, and how it may have interplayed with and inspired the fictional chaos that we see in Warhammer Fantasy. There are some very loose connections in terms of direct inspiration, but the metaphysics of it, I think, have a lot more symbolic connections. So to illustrate that point, and hopefully with the random pictures I'm going to put up in this video, I do hope to illustrate kind of what I mean. So I'm going to read the first chapter. I'm going to read the first section of one of my key sources, which is called The Liber Null by Peter J. Carroll. It's basically the handbook for practical chaos magic, written in 1978, which does mean it does preclude the inception of chaos in Warhammer Fantasy, which came out with the Realms of Chaos books in 1987. Or maybe 85. Wait, hold on, let me check. Okay, turns out both was wrong. It's actually 1988, but that's irrelevant. Anyways, let me begin. The Quest. The secrets of magic are universal, and of such practical physical nature as to defy simple explanation. Those beings who realize and practice such secrets are said to have achieved mastership. Masters will, at various points in history, inspire adepts to create magic, mystic, religious, and even secular orders to bring others to mastership. Such orders have, at certain times, openly called themselves the Illuminati. At other times, secrecy has seemed more prudent. The mysteries can be preserved only by constant revelation. In this, chaos magic continues a tradition that is perhaps 10,000 years old. Yet, chaos magic has no history. Every culture and generation rewrites the eternal verities of magic in terms of its own symbols and idiosyncrasies. Only the underlying practical techniques of magic really matter. In the tradition, with no past, there is nowhere to conceal the future from the present. It takes its inspiration from sex and death. Apart from being humanity's two greatest obsessions and motivating forces, sex and death represent the positive and negative methods of attaining magical consciousness. Illumination refers to the inspiration, enlightenment, and liberation resulting from success with these methods. The specific purpose for which the chaos tradition of magic is constituted is to help determine in what form the as yet embryonic fifth Aeon will manifest. Its tasks, although historic, consists of disseminating magical knowledge to individuals. For at no time since the first Aeon has humanity stood in such need of these abilities to see its way forward. There is no formal hierarchy in chaos tradition of magic. There is a division of activity depending on ability as it develops. Neophytes strengthen their magical will against the strongest possible adversary, their own mind. They explore the possibilities of changing themselves at will and explore their own occult abilities in dream and magical activities. Initiates familiarize themselves with all forms of occult attainment and seek to perfect themselves in some particular form of magic. They should also find others capable of aspiring to chaos magic and offer them help. Adepts seek perfection in all aspects of personal magical power, wisdom, and liberation. Masters seek to realize the aims of the initiates in chaos magic tradition by whatever form of action or non-action they deem appropriate. appropriate. So even just from that brief introduction, there are some interesting symbolic parallels between a fifth manifested Aeon and the possibility of a fifth Chaos God. Later in the book, I know it goes into the topic of egregores, which is a coagulated thought form entity born out of collective belief, which is fundamentally how the Chaos Gods function. But the concept of an egregore is far older than that, far older than just chaos magic. So that's something I'm going to have to uncover while reading all of this, and hopefully I don't go insane, but I will assure all of you I've already done a thesis on on this kind of stuff, so I'm capable of handling it for those of you who may be true believers, and for those of you who think I might be getting too far in the weeds. As I said, I've done a thesis on a similar topic, so I have the I have the background for it. Where was I? So, another interesting parallel, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but there's a series of books published by Black Library called the Liber Chaotica, which I think may be taking its inspiration from the Liber Null, or it could be an antiquated naming convention for a certain type of magical grimoire. I don't know specifically. In addition to all of this, I'm also going to be drawing from some internal design work documents, an unpublished treatise written by Rick Priestley in 1989 on the metaphysics of how chaos works in both fantasy and 40k. Now, this is publicly available online. I just do not remember where I cannot for the life of me remember where I got it from. So I'm just going to read part of that just to kind of set the groundwork for what I'm kind of going into in relation to the fictional Warhammer Chaos, rather than just having this whole enterprise be a exploration of the new religious movement of chaos magic. So, again, unpublished treatise written by Rick Priestley, one of the founders of Games Workshop and creator of Warhammer 40,000. This is Chaos, Guide to the Fictional Background of Chaos in GW Games. And beginning, chaos is easiest to explain in terms of a parallel universe comprising an endless sea of dissociated energy and matter. This is chaos in its pure form, a soup of energy, unfettered emotion, random bits of memory, and potential existence. Within the sea, its components well and drift, randomly coalescing and breaking apart, continually forming new mixtures. However, it would be overly simple to say outright that this is all there is to chaos, although the image is a useful mental tool which will help us to explain chaos and how it works. The following image is the one that Rick Priestley provides, and that you have the totality of existence encompassing the circle, divided between material space and immaterial space, the material universe and the immaterium of chaos. All living creatures exist in the chaos universe, as well as in the material universe. Most are not conscious of this fact. Whilst a man's body inhabits the material universe, his soul inhabits that of chaos. Just as the body is part of the material universe and is made of matter, the soul is part of the chaos universe and is made from it. The soul is not aware. It is simply a coherent lump of raw chaos energy, maintained whole by its anchor to a material body. It represents power, and can be drawn upon and used by wizards and psychers, and unconsciously by individuals with these latent powers. All of us may draw unknowingly upon this power in moments of extremity. His wording, not mine. And here's another reference image. This is the one from the design document itself, outlining pretty basically of the physical body, the soul, and an anchor connecting the two. And this is also the avenue through which demons are able to kind of hijack your corporeal form. The lost soul. When a creature dies, the anchor holding its body and its soul is broken. The raw material of the soul is cast adrift amongst the other raw materials of chaos. Most souls are weak and insubstantial, and soon dissolve back into chaos and are lost forever. Because of this relationship, the universe of chaos is sometimes called a sea of lost souls. because souls are recreated with every new birth. It's also known as the Well of Souls. Other souls, once deprived of their anchoring body, remain substantial, although still without consciousness. They retain an essence of their most deeply held emotions and thoughts that characterized them in life. Upon death, the soul drifts freely until it meets and coalesces with other similarly inclined souls. Thus, by an accumulation of drifting souls, greater wholes are created, coalescences of energies held together by common emotions and beliefs. In this way, the emotions and beliefs of men affect chaos itself. These accumulations of energy gain personality and individual character as they gain strength, eventually becoming fully aware entities. Such are the powers of chaos. The Star Child is a power that has yet to be born, having not yet achieved full consciousness. This document does date back to a time in which the Star Child was a much more focal point of the kind of meta plot of Warhammer 40k, which is more of a background element today. From what I understand, I have not kept up with the details for the last, I want to say 15 years. So that is pretty scattershot, I know, but it's a taste of what I have planned coming up, and no doubt it'll take me some time to actually put this together. But I hope it is worth the wait, and I hope at least some of you stick around to watch. So, again, in between random shit posts, I will post updates on this. And this has been Tol'tar of Lynn, and thank you for watching.